What if you started a podcast with your best friend and suddenly you began recording ghosts? You began capturing EVPs. Well, that's kind of what we accidentally just did. Here's a bonus episode. And here's some EVPs. Welcome to Who Are You? Curious Stories of Family Lore. I'm Weeksy.
And I'm Sam Ivy.
And this is the episode where we talk about how Mimi spoke on our audio when we were talking about her.
Yeah, when it's like the episode about the veil being, let down for a little bit, people coming across.
Yeah.
Spirits reaching out.
So we are here, we are gathered here today for this episode that is currently untitled. It will definitely have a title by the time you guys are listening to it. But we found some ghost footage. And footage makes it seem like there's some visuals. There's not. It's all audio. But
some ghosty evidence.
Yeah. We were on a trail when we weren't recording, and then I was like, we should be recording. And then you're like, well, hit record. And then now it's like that was yesterday.
Well, you were talking about how this episode wasn't even supposed to be put on to our podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you. So we are here because when we were recording Knock Knock Part 2, which accidentally aired first, when I was going through and editing it, I heard some stuff. And Sam and I are still kind of blown away by it, so we wanted to talk about it. But then to add to all this, right now, currently, Knock Knock Part 2 is our most streamed episode. It was just posted less than 5 days ago at this time of this recording, and it was an accident. It wasn't even supposed to be posted. It was supposed to be next week. So, the order's all messed up, but I was just about to tell Sam this. I keep going back to how this was posted out of order and how this is the episode where you were talking about your grandma and a really traumatic, the thing that's happened in your life. Let's put it that way. That's the thing. There are things that happen in your life, but then there's the thing. The thing in my life, the equivalent is my mom dying. When I think of the worst thing that's ever happened to me, it's that. That was the worst thing that's ever happened to you up until this point. I'm not going to speak for you, but would you say that actually?
Oh, yeah,
that's one of,
No, it definitely was one of the most traumatizing experiences. I can definitely see where it warped me as a person. Kind of like that fork in the road type deal. It's either, it taught me about my fight or flight. Whether I am a person that can stay and handle situations like that, or if I need a dip and I can't. So because of that, it definitely has changed, the way I view death in general and how that death is going to be the one that has hurt me the most. I don't think there's ever going to be any equivalency. I'm never going to have to feel that level of intense pain the way I did for her.
Yeah. And recounting a story that carries that much pain, it releases energy. And that's why we're talking about our ancestors, and we're talking about not even just our ancestors, but our family members that have died, that we loved, that have died. And while you're talking about it and we're recording it, and I'm going back and I replay it, I literally hear her voice in the recording. I've been feeling I always have felt talking about our family members. If there's an afterlife, don't you think the time for them to show up would be when we're talking about them?
Because you're manifesting them.
Yeah. So it made perfect sense to me that when I was going back through this audio, I stopped, and at first I heard something. And I'm like, nah, that's probably nothing. We have really not bad equipment, but we have beginner equipment, maybe a little above beginner.
Yeah.
So, and there's so many things that it could be. It could be little dog paws. It could be shuffling. It could be moving around. There are things that it could be. But I think we should preface this because we were talking about Mimi. You were talking about Mimi. You literally had just said, "Oh my God, I did not silence my cellular device." And I'm over here worried about Lou coming through. Wow. Anyways, well, I ain't ever seen a hypocrite before. Now I have. Anyway, oh, whoa, self-awareness. Anyway, I've never lived in the South. That's a lie. I lived in Biloxi, but for like 5 seconds of my life. That doesn't
And
count.
I live in southern Maryland, so I guess we're as south, known south as I get.
I never thought you had an accent until I listened to our podcast back. I was like, what? Like, she does have an accent, but I don't like experience it when I'm
It's
talking to
that
you.
that twang comes out every once in a while, depending on what I'm saying
Yeah,
and how I
but
yeah.
but the thing is, I have lived like I will be like this whole time I'll be like she doesn't have an accent, but then I'll go back to edit this episode and I'll be like, how do I not hear this when we're talking? I don't hear it in real time, but I hear it later when I'm like
Yeah.
removed from the and I'm just like passively listening. Because when I'm engaged in conversation with you, I don't even when I try to notice it, I'm like, there's no accent. I don't notice it. But then I'm like, holy shit, she sounds like she's from the South.
Uh-huh.
Like, which, which I mean, it's so weird. Um, but you were literally talking about how you can feel Mimi with you in the car, like there's a song, and it is clear as day a response. So this was Knock Knock Part 2, which would make it episode 4. So I have this is why my episodes are messed up. Knock Knock Part 1 is labeled episode 3 Part 1, but then Knock Knock Part 2 is labeled episode 4. But then we have bonus episodes in there, so they're really like episode 6 and 7. So when I went to upload part 1, I was like episode 3 part 1, and I swear to you that is the one that I uploaded. I did not upload episode 4 because I remember being like, my naming system has got to change. And I said to myself, thank God it says part 1. And I uploaded that one. And that's the one that somehow was part 2. Knock Knock Part 2. But right here, this one, this says episode 3 part 1. That's
Yeah.
the file. When I went to look and edit it, after I listened, I'm like, this is part 2. It said that as the file name. So how is it part 2 on the file?
Yeah.
Because when I go to upload this file, when I hit play, this is part 2. This is part 1. It is part 1 because the intro is there.
Yeah.
But when I go to upload this same file, it says it's a duplicate file. But it's not a duplicate file because that's part 2. This is part 1. So I'm figuring that out. That's going to be figured out before Monday. But Mimi has had her hands a dabbling. She's had her hands a dabbling, and it's fine. And it's 152, which is the number that represents my mom. So it's like my mom's here being like, and this is your mother figure.
No.
Just little things like that as we're recording, just right as I'm talking about getting your fingers in from the spirit world. So, anyways, that being said, I'm going to open the correct file, which is part 2. Yeah, it's still so weird because this is part 2 and it's labeled the right way and it's just so weird. Um,
That's crazy, dude.
when we first started this podcast, I was going to go by Weedsy and you were going to go by
P. Willet.
P. Willett. And you want to talk about that a little bit? Because we never played that part of what we recorded, so they have no
Yeah.
idea. Do you want to talk about that? And then we're gonna replay. I'm gonna replay for them all these. We're just gonna shut up, and I'm just gonna play them at full blast for the listeners, and we're gonna talk about it. But this is just blowing my mind. Anyway, sorry. The floor is yours. I'll finally shut up.
Honestly, with like Pila and shit, I don't know like the origin of it. I don't know what the meaning is behind it per se. All I know is that my grandmother was called that by her father when she grew up, and she was always his P. Willet because they were like thick as thieves, partners in crime. So when I was born, and since I'm my grandmother's first and only grandchild, that she just, I'm her P. Willet. Like my brother was her pistol, even though there's no blood relations there. But when he was part of her life for like 2 years, that was her
Yeah.
pistol. So so I just have always been P. Willet. It's something that's always been like a term of endearment. She called me it every fucking day, literally, even on like my graduation day, prom day, like it didn't fucking matter where when we were. I was always her fucking P. Willet.
And that is so crazy that as you're talking about her, talking about always feeling her, how you were her person, she's gonna, her energy will go somewhere, she'll be reincarnated into something. Throughout that, there is, there are responses. So I'm gonna play
Yeah.
it right now. Yeah.
My grandmother, I most of the time sense when I'm driving. Like I said, like certain songs will come on. Like I have this one song that is beautiful that because our thing was "You Are My Sunshine." That's what I got a tattoo for and everything.
Yeah.
And this song called "Sunshine" literally talks about like I can feel you next to me, like even though you're not there, like I could hold you one more time. Like it's all about like losing somebody, but knowing that their presence is still there. And I shit you
Yeah.
not, it could be cloudy, rainy, gross outside. It could just not be. It could be dull. And every time that song plays, like a light will shine through, like sunbeams, and it's always in my passenger seat. And I just, mine and her thing growing up is I was her car buddy. She wanted to take a trip to Walmart. She wanted to get out of the house. She wanted to go somewhere. I was always in the car, me and her playing music, talking. I was, I was her little person. So
Yeah.
I do sense her.
Yeah.
And I hope to always sense her, she's still there. The energy's still there. She'll get reincarnated into something.
Because it's hard to hear, like playing it out here, because I can hear where it happens, but from far away, like without headphones, it does just sound like it could be missed. It could be missed as
Yeah.
like audio interference. But it sounds like clear as day. Will it? When you listen to it, did you hear it?
When you sent me the clip separately, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I definitely heard like that little faint, and I mean, spirit energy alone, like if you notice, like it will absorb your technology, like it takes that energy, like that battery source. I mean, look at all
Yeah.
the episodes of Ghost Adventure where their shit fucking just dies after it's been fully charged because the spirit needs that energy to fucking manifest themselves.
Exactly. I'm gonna try to find the timestamp. That's like right where I started. My grandmother had a lot of shit. She had a lot of rare shit, a lot of expensive shit.
I fucking
When I'm reviewing this, I'm gonna be like, wow. Okay, I'm gonna hit play because I think it starts here, and this is like the last 6 minutes of the episode. So if you're listening or haven't listened to Knock Knock Part 2 yet, which actually came out first, you should listen to that because we're dropping this Friday after Part 1 comes out. This is gonna be like a little bonus, like, hey, so that way people can go back and look at the last 6 minutes. I just heard, oh my God. I just heard through my headphone just now. Did you just like exhale or inhale or anything just now? I just heard this.
I didn't do anything like that.
I hope that we pick that up because I just heard that. I just heard that.
Is our podcast just becoming like a weird spin-off of Ghost Adventures?
I am not ever going to be Zach Baggins, but if we turn, I have a love for ghosts and stuff, and I feel less depressed when I'm in the presence of ghosts. Makes me
Dude,
happy
because
when
you're
I'm
never.
watching Ghost Hunters.
It's the realization that we're never alone, and even those who fear death and everything, like it doesn't mean that there's an end.
Exactly.
Like
It gives me hope.
yes,
In Knock Knock Part 2, this is the last like 6 minutes. And throughout the last 6 minutes, the words that I hear is will it. Like I hear my will it or maybe even P will it. And then there's one time where I hear like a will it. Like and it doesn't
yeah,
sound like audio interference to me. It sounds like Mimi's voice. Like it sounds like her
that recording I sent you of her
yes.
like, yeah,
like it has like a very human quality and it's very quick. So I'm gonna do my best to like when I play this part, like really boost it for the listeners. But I'm just gonna play it's from like the 6 minute mark and then I'll stop it after I don't hear anymore.
Okay.
That's what I got a tattoo for and everything.
Yeah.
And this song called Sunshine literally talks about, like, I can feel you next to me, like, even though you're not there, like, I could hold you one more time. Like, it's all about, like, losing somebody, but knowing that their presence is still there. And I shit you not, it could be cloudy, rainy.
Right there. Did you hear that?
Like, faintly, yes.
I'm gonna go back. Hold on.
I can feel you next to me, like, even though you're not there, like, I could hold you one more time. Like, it's all about, like, losing somebody, but knowing that their presence is still there. And I shit you not, it could be cloudy, rainy.
Right there.
Yep.
Did you hear that?
I did.
So that's at that happens right at like the 5 minute 10 mark.
It's very quick. It's very...
will it. She says it like, will it. Like, will it. Let's do it one more time and then I'm going to keep it playing. Yeah.
And this song called Sunshine literally talks about, like...
This song called Sunshine, will it.
Song called Sunshine literally talks about, like...
That's what I hear.
And
I'm going to keep...
Yep.
Did you hear it?
I did.
I'll keep it playing.
I can feel you next to me, like, even though you're not there, like, I could hold you one more time. Like, it's all about, like, losing somebody, but knowing that their presence is still there. And I shit you not, it could be cloudy, rainy.
And I shit you not, will it. You said, and I shit you not, and then right after that you hear, will it. Let me play it again. And it's her voice going it's like in this like playful, like, will it. Like kind of taunting you, like you should have gone by will it. Like that's how I'm... All right, I'm going to go back.
And I shit you not, it could be cloudy, rainy.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, that one. Yep, that time around you can hear it. It's like perfectly in between like the audio too.
Yes.
It's fucking weird.
She waited. She said it. She was like yelling. She's like, "Oh, you didn't hear me the first time? Let me say it again."
Yeah.
Let me say it again. It's just the subject of what you're talking about is the other part that's fucking me up.
That's fucking wild, man. Like, I got fucking goosebumps and shit.
Yeah, this one is like more faint and it's in the background. I'm gonna play it again. This all starts to happen when there's like 5.5 minutes left to like 3 minutes. Like it's all in between and then it stops and it's no more. It's just right when you're talking about it.
And it's funny that it happened at like the 5 minute mark because 5 was her lucky number. 5 was her number.
Oh, that is an just another thing. Because that is, that's interesting.
Weird.
Yeah, and I didn't plan for that. That just happened to be how much of the episode was left. Like
this one song that is beautiful, because our thing was "You Are My Sunshine." That's what I got a tattoo for and everything.
Yeah.
And this song called Sunshine literally talks about,
and this song called Sunshine, will it.
Like, I can feel you next to me, like, even though you're not there, like, I could hold you one more time. Like, it's all about, like, losing somebody, but knowing that their presence is still there. And I shit you not, it could be cloudy.
And I shit you not, will it. So those were 2. That's 2.
That one I hear. That one's like the clearest one. The second one.
Yeah. And that one feels like because you didn't hear her the first time she was trying to get your attention. And then there's a third one because she's like in the background, like, wait, like, you're not hearing me, kind of. Like, it almost feels like there's this attempt to be like, yeah, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. So let's continue listening, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Here we are for, I don't know if there's any more. There might be one more. I think there's still one more, but let's keep listening. I think there's one more that we've already talked about that we haven't listened to yet.
Gross outside. It could just not be, it could be dull. And every time that song plays, like, a light will shine through, like, sunbeams, and it's always in my passenger seat. And I just, mine and her thing growing up is I was her car buddy. She wanted to take a trip to Walmart. She wanted to get out of the house. She wanted to go somewhere. I was always in the car, me and her playing music, talking. I was, I was her little person. So I do censor. And I hope to always censor, she's still there. The energy's still there. She'll get reincarnated into something.
And then, like, you know what I just realized also? There was a lot of, like, static. And then all of a sudden it just stops. I didn't realize that before. What the heck? Hold on. Let's just go back. Hear the static?
And I just, mine and her thing growing up is I was her car buddy. She wanted to take a trip to Walmart. She wanted to get out of the house.
Sounds
She
like
wanted
you're
to
in
go
a
somewhere.
car.
I was always in the car, me and her playing music, talking. I was her little person. So
Yeah.
I do censor.
Well,
And I hope to always censor, she's still there. The energy's still there. She'll get reincarnated into something.
and then it
Yeah.
just stops. She'll get reincarnated into something. Boom. Silence. She left. What the heck?
Yeah, that. Huh.
What the heck?
I don't
So
have an explanation for that.
I know, and again, I know that like we got to try to debunk it. Something that ghost hunters, Jason Hawes, and oh my gosh, what was his Jason and what was his name? The original other guy with the brown black hair. They were both plumbers. I just remember Jason because he's back. He's no G. Jason and this Grant. How dare I? Grant. That's unbelievable that I even forgot. I'm sorry, Grant. He's still alive. He can't hear me, and I doubt he's listening, so I'm not speaking to his spirit. At least last I knew he was alive. Let's not jinx it. I'm knocking on wood. Anyways. I've had too much coffee. So I had a trail of thought. It's been lost. I'm spooked.
Debunk it.
Oh, yes, because that's what ghost hunters taught me. And so I've thought through, okay, when I talk, if there's audio interference and it bounces off and then it gets picked up into your mic, okay, that's fine. I agree. That could be happening. But how in the hell does it not sound like when I say yeah, why is it not echoing yeah? It's echoing will it?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense regardless.
No.
And the chances of it sounding like will it in response to you talking about your grandma still being alive and being reincarnated, the moment you said that she'll be reincarnated, her energy's going to go somewhere, she'll be reincarnated, whoosh, the static disappears. And then I go, yeah, over like the newfound silence. What the heck?
Yeah.
And you said that this was for your grandma. Your reason, one of the main reasons for doing this. She has become this. Like,
it's fucking wild.
we would love to know your thoughts. What do you guys hear? If you're a ghost hunter, huntress, because if I was ever to ghost hunt, I would prefer to be referred to as a ghost huntress.
That sounds
So, right? It just sounds, I hunt ghosts femininely. It doesn't even have to be feminine. Not even what you think of as your preconceived notion of femininity. Whatever. I'm just a ghost huntress. But if I ever were to be an authentic ghost huntress, I would refer to these things in which we found today as EVPs or electronic voice phenomena. And phenomena. These have always been my favorite thing about hunting ghosts. Hunting ghosts.
Yeah.
Watching Ghost Hunters with my mom when I was a kid. That was always, I was like, oh, turn up the volume. I got to hear the EVP. So I've always had a tape recorder too. And this just makes so much sense that it's not about me. Me communicating is not for me. But what is for me is finding it for you. I will listen for stuff like that because in my whole life, that's been my favorite thing about the possibility of life after. And so these messages weren't for me, they were for you, but it was my job to show them to you, I feel. And maybe that's part of this mediumship that I'm not even sure I have, but I know that I'm spooky and weird things happen to me. And this is just another, it can be considered nothing. Some people might say, oh, that's nothing. I don't hear anything. I don't know. It just seems real weird to me.
It's very uncanny. I think it's funny that it's like always in like she doesn't interrupt me. It's always like right after I say something about her. And like you said, for audio to be able to bounce off and things, nothing that I say or you say sounds remotely like will it in any of those conversations.
No. And the only time I might like I could hear sometimes it sounds like it could be an echo, but the echo
Yeah.
it's not saying yeah again, it's saying will it. There's no will it is 2 syllables, yeah is 1 syllable. So
Exactly.
we just wanted to share this with you all, and now that part 1 and part 2 are out, and this is being released on the Friday after both of them, maybe you can go back and re-listen and reevaluate and let us know what you think. Comment on our Instagram, send us an email. But yeah, that's really it. I think I just wanted to explore that and give the
No, I mean,
audio a
I appreciate
listen.
you like sharing that with me and being able to capture that for me. And who knows what else this podcast will be able to, discover. Like maybe
Yeah,
your mom will connect with us next time when we talk about her, Like we're
man.
both very open-minded people, very spiritual people, so who knows?
I remember after my mom died, less than 6 months after she died, I was sitting on my kitchen floor with a ghost box that I had bought. I had actually, somebody bought it for me as a way to like help me cope with her dying. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
sitting on my floor and just listening to that static. 'Cause if anybody ever has heard what a ghost box is, it basically is like a box that scans through frequencies, like and the energy gets transmutated from static into recognizable sounds that formed words. And if you're lucky, sometimes it forms sentences. And I sat there for days, hours, days, sometimes like hours on the floor, but feeling numb. Just being like, if anyone's gonna convince me that there's an afterlife, it would be my mom. And I never ever heard anything. And I always thought like, and that was kind of like when I started to get really depressed, is after she didn't come through on the spirit
Yeah.
box. And she's come through in other ways since, and I'll get more into it later. But I think that absolute like loss of hope in that moment, because it was a loss when she got sick, and then it was a
Mm-hmm.
loss when she died. And I say sick, I mean mentally sick and physically sick. And then it was a loss when she died. And then it was a loss when we had to clean out her closet and move her things and like throw away the tissues and move her glasses and her cup and all the stuff that had been in the spot that it was. Like that was a loss. Every like cleaning out your grandma's house. You
Yeah.
talked about going through those things.
Yep.
Those losses, it's like losing that person all over again. But there's always in the back of your mind that hope that maybe there's an after, maybe there's an after. And so
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the kitchen floor in Colorado after like days, it's like the only reason I wanted it was to talk to my mom. And so I felt really hopeless in like
Yeah.
a profound way. And it took a really long time for me to connect,
Well,
like to actually be
yeah.
spiritual again, you know? So I was blocked
Yeah.
for a long time.
Well, because
So
it's very
doing this,
defeating. Yeah.
hell yeah. Doing this is helpful. I think it's therapeutic. So Mimi coming through like that, not it is for you, but it's also kind of like for me, it's like, okay, see, sometimes you just have to be removed from the situation to see these things. So maybe there are things that my mom has been doing that I just haven't necessarily been able to tune into because I've been so sad about this one thing that she didn't show through because maybe she wasn't strong enough at that time to do that because
Yeah.
hello, she suffered on this earth. She probably has some healing to do on the other side, however it works. And that was right after
100%.
she died. So this was great. And I'm grateful that Mimi is as sassy and fiery in the afterlife as she was in the real life.
I would put nothing past her, and I would expect nothing but that.
But are there any other final thoughts you want to give to the viewers? Because this actually ended up being almost a full episode, which is pretty cool.
I would say the only final thought is, like how we said before, just be open-minded, you know? Don't take the little things for granted. Like, as something as simple as me seeing the fact that all of that happened at the 5 minute mark and five was her favorite number. Like, you know, things aren't just always a coincidence. There's always some meaning behind everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like another thing that she's just like a cherry on top to be like, see? And that was for you. I didn't know that. That
Mm-hmm.
was for you. So
Yeah.
thanks for
Yeah. I mean,
listening.
she was born
I'm sorry.
1950, so. No,
Oh,
you're
she
good. She was
was?
born in 1950. Yeah, like 1950 is her birth year. Five was always her favorite number, always her lucky number.
Wow. That really that makes it just adds more value to it. You can put off one
Exactly.
coincidence. Put off one coincidence. Okay, it sounds like will it. But does it sound like will it 3 times in response to very specific things that you said on top of starting at the 5 minute mark? Right? Like,
Yeah.
seems a little bit on
Same
top,
as
on
like
top,
how
on
when we
top.
started, it was 152, and that was your mom's number. So like,
Yeah. That's kind of, yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. So this has been really good. And thank you, everybody, for being here, whoever is listening.
Thank you for experiencing my trauma with me, and you know, hopefully it's helped somebody or it's touched some people.
Yeah, I'm sure that it has. I mean, it's the most streamed episode out of all the ones that we've posted, and it is, I don't think people can
One
really
of the heaviest ones
comprehend.
too.
Yeah, and I don't think people can comprehend what it's like finding your mother/mother figure twice, not just once, twice, in the way that you did, and the way that you carried yourself. Like we heard 4 different stories. They were all very different, and every single person dealt with them
Hmm.
differently. There was a different reaction. We had a 4-year-old grow up to be a really quiet, distant father. We had one grow up to be a selective mute for 2 to 3 years of his life, and then be angry. You were just like, how can I save her life? What questions are they asking me? What information do I
Hmm.
relay? That is that's an insane amount of strength to have. People don't understand the type of person that takes. And so it's worth it to have a separate episode where we acknowledge the woman who you did save once and you tried to save a second time. But the fact is, you gave her extra time. You gave her extra time. Her life would have been cut
Yeah.
shorter than it already was. But you gave her, what, 2 extra years? That's
Hmm.
That's a beautiful thing to give somebody, especially somebody who raised you.
I never even
And
looked at
it's
it that way.
24 extra months. How many extra memories? You said she was getting better. She was on the up and up. You gave her
Yeah.
that confidence. You gave her that second wind, and she never would have experienced that if you hadn't saved her. And I think that
Yeah.
you
No.
gave her a new beginning wherever we end up. So, like, you should be proud, and I'm honored to be your friend, man.
Oh, thanks, man. I love you.
I love you. And we love you, fam.
Yeah.
So, like, never stop asking yourself,
Who are you?
who are you? Well, you are a badass, that's for sure.
Oh, well, birds with feathers flock together, my friend.